We're going.
Okay, I want to thank you all for making it to another meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. You made it here. Very fantastic. I see a lot more of you are using meetup.com, which I'm very happy to see because it's helping to expand your network and let people know who you are, what you're up to, and what you are looking for too. So it's a good thing. We have got the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association website, long version, short version, and we are here at the Marriott. Very happy. You know, it's the only meeting room they have in this building, so we don't have to have a bunch of noise and confusion and everything else, and the parking's great. So I'm very happy with Marriott. Not to mention that I get reward points because I'm a Marriott member, right? Or you have timeshare, so yeah. YouTube. Everything we do goes up on YouTube. And the reason we do that is because Santa Barbara is a very small community, and Dan Ringwald, I can say his name on video. When he does his thing, I would be willing to bet he spends $8,000 trying to get people out to Fest Parker, which is now the Hilton, and he gets about 40 people to show up in a room that can handle 300. And if he did the same thing in LA, he'd have 200. He knows that. It's not a big deal. He still does it, and that's what he gets. But what I'm saying is it's hard to get a big crowd in Santa Barbara. So that's why we video it, put everything up on YouTube, direct them all back to the speaker's website location for more business. And we don't take any of the sales from the speakers, which a lot of REIAs want 50% of the sales. I do that for two reasons. One, it's a small area. They need all the money they can get. Secondly, I don't want the legal issues. If you got a speaker that's like very questionable and a problem, or we got students that go, hey, I bought $3,000 worth of, CDs and DVDs, and they're all in this shrink wrap, and they've been on my shelf for 6 months, and I've never looked at them, and I want my money back. I don't want to deal with that either. So that's a couple reasons for not doing that, and I'm happy that it works the way it does. So we put everything up on YouTube. You can go back and look for years at this information, some really good speakers, really good information there for you. We are here at Marriott. This is the room we're in. And we had from 1 to 1:30, we're at about 1:37 now. Little networking, a chance for you all to get to know each other, get a sense of what's going on. We've got a little bit of food over here. So that's what we did for the first half hour of this. And this is kind of the agenda that we've got here. We're going to do a little contest for guests. And I do have a Google thing here for you. And Linda August just texted me and said she can't make it. Her mother fell and had a problem, and she's got to stay there and take care of her, so she won't be here. We do have Ron Klein. Is that how you speak?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for making it, Ron. Very happy you're here. We've got Lucette Buffon. Is that proper pronunciation?
That's great.
Is that okay? She's here, custom remodels. She's here. And then I'll go through a couple little things, but not much, because this whole day is going to be for Cliff Gager, who is in the back there. Thank you, Cliff. You made it. Yay! I know to drive, coming up here is not that easy, and people get kind of stranded, but I'm very happy to see you made it, and we're good. So, and then when we're done, we do have a free table I want to mention outside the door there. There's CDs or DVDs and even some cassette tapes from 20 years ago from Ron LeGrand and other places. Please take them. For anybody who's just kind of starting off, there's some valuable information. It's free, so just help yourself. Anything that's on the free table, take it. It's free. Michael says don't put what on the free table?
Yeah, don't leave anything you would want other people taken on the free table, right,
Like
guys?
your
Like your phone,
phone?
anything like that. Yeah.
Because it's going to be gone. Don't do that. Okay, we got Michael, by the way, my son, Michael Ringwald, doing the video. Hey, Michael. And he's got the Michael V LLC with a couple of properties in there paid for free and clear, so he's getting the sense of what's going on here. Very good with computers, can do websites, all kinds of things for you. Worked for a year at Best Buy in the Geek Squad, so he knows customer relations.
Oh, yes.
And technical stuff. Okay? So, let's do this. Let's start off by talking about contest for guests. Who in here brought a guest? Wow. Oh, you're so good. One person. Okay. That's really, really good. That means that if you, now what I did was, you know, I got to look at things and going, our contest of guests isn't really doing so well. You know, it's like, what does it take for people to go, hey, you know, I wouldn't mind getting a $130 Google Home, or just give me $130 cash or whatever, but it's just people aren't doing it. So I said, okay, let's move on to door number 2, a Google Mini for about 50 bucks, 40, whatever they are. So if you bring 1 or 2 guests, you get one of these free, okay? If you bring 3 or more, then we're going for that. And of course I didn't bring one, because I know that it's not going to happen. If somebody says, well, what if it does? It's easy. It's just like we do with property and our contractors. You go down to Best Buy, you pick up the Google Home, you walk up to the checkout stand, you give them my cell phone number, they call me up, I pay for it with my credit card, and you walk out the door with a $130 Google Home. That's how it works. Same thing with rehabs. That's how we do rehabs. So, I want you to come up here, accept this, tell us who you are, what you're up to, hold it up and say, hey, I brought a guest, and we're going to video you, and we're going to put you up on our website and give you a little advertising. So come on up. I know it's quick and easy. We don't Okay, thank you so much. What's the first name? Okay, great. Just tell us your first and last name. Tell us, you know, kind of what you're doing here and what you want to do.
All right. Well, my name is Sergio Conde. I am a graduating senior at UCSB. I'm really interested in entrepreneurship, so I want to expand my network. So I came to this meeting and to try to meet new people, learn about investment in real estate, right? Expand my options. And I brought my girlfriend. She, I wanted her to learn about this too, so we can hopefully do things together in the future. And I'm excited to learn. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Good job speaking. We're going to put that up, a video up there, and, you know, promote you and get you going, and the entrepreneurship and what you're doing there at UCSB and everything is obviously paying off, because you're the only person who brought a guest and you're walking off with something already.
Thank you. Appreciate
It's
it.
good. Thank you.
Love you.
Very cool. I love that. We've had so many people get these things and go, well, what is it? I don't even know what Google Home is. And Michael, my son, says, Dad, you're a geek just like I am. Give it a break. Give him cash, whatever. You know? Okay. So, we've got, Linda is not here, so Ron, I'm going to ask Ron to come up here. Ron Klein. And financial independent professional, secure estate management. He's going to give us a little bit of information about what he does.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much, Ron. Good job.
Thank you. So again, I'm Ron Klein from Secure Estate Management, and we teach investors, entrepreneurs, families, and business owners how to leverage the concept and tool of the personal bank. It's a concept that's been around for about 120-ish years, and Nelson Nash is the father of the bank, and you can get his book or look at the Nelson Nash website online to get extra information and learn a little bit more about it. This is an extremely powerful tool that I actually use myself. My best friend is a physician, and he's used it and leveraged it to purchase other practices. Inside of this tool and concept, you can create guaranteed, compounded, tax-free resources. And as real estate investors, how many of us need to have resources, right? We have to have that kind of stuff, right? Resources are kind of like our blood or lifeblood. I'm a flipper. I flip out in Phoenix. I'm part of a small 3-person flipping team. And when I need $100,000 to go do a rehab, guess what? I can go to my personal bank and get it. I'm actually setting one of these up for my 21-year-old daughter so that she can start to build her resources and buy a building by the time she's 28, 29, maybe 30. And my 17-year-old will get one when she's 21 as well. If you're interested, I'm in the back, or I'll be milling around. Please come and see me. Would love to tell you more about it and set up an appointment and tell you more about how it works and how it can actually work for each of you.
Excellent.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. So that's very interesting, because I've had Ron here a couple of our meetings, and and I've talked to him on the phone a few times and not really gotten a sense of what he does. I'm going to be talking to you.
Excellent.
100,000 sounds really good.
Excellent.
And you know, you can never have enough resources for money to do things if you need to use the money to do things, right?
Yep.
So thank you.
Yep.
We have Musette Profant Custom Remodels, and she is actually looking at one of our rentals in Santa Barbara and helping us, you know, Dan, you've got to clean up this place, you know. So come on up here. Thank you so much, Musette.
I didn't know you would talk to
Thank you very much. Appreciate
it.
it.
You're welcome. Hi, everybody. My name is Musette. I have a degree in architecture. I am a designer, and I do fast, quality work. So if you have rentals where you need somebody to come in, fix them up really quickly, and you don't want to be back there every 6 months trying to maintain it, we do quality work. I have a crew. We are mobile. We can go anywhere in the United States to flip houses for you. And we are a one-stop shop. Everything design, 3D, AutoCAD. We do paint, we do plumbing, electrical, everything. I have a complete crew. We will work 14-hour days for you to get that product back on the market so you can realize your investment very fast. Fast quality work. Musette, I'm on Sterling sites, and I'm rolling one of my rehabs right there on the thing. Come and talk to me during the break. Are we having a break?
Well, that all depends on Cliff and what everybody says if they want to take a break or not. So we'll see.
Okay, well, grab me and take me out in the hallway if you want.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Right. And that would really be what we need to do. If you want to talk to Ron or Musette, you need to kind of do it out in the hallway because we don't want to have you with conversation and Cliff trying to educate the rest of us going on. So they'll be happy to walk out there in the hallway and do that. And I'm just grateful to have you two here. That's wonderful. And I didn't get your links up there, so please get both of their websites or cards so you can get back to their websites. Because when you look at their websites, you're going to go, wow, this is some good stuff. Okay? Great. So we've got that handled. Let's take a quick look at some of the stuff that I do. We've got a couple more minutes here left. Linda Pliagas didn't make it, as I mentioned, but she is the person that inspired me to get out of Rusty's Pizza when we had the meetings at Rusty's Pizza, and it was like, oh, your pizza's ready, through the middle of everything we were doing, and got me going out at Fess Barker. She does these things nationwide, and she does probably at least 1 or 2 per month. She's traveling all the time. So I suggest if you seriously go to some of her events where there's 200 or 300 people show up. We went to one up in San Luis Obispo at a point where we needed some cash. I met a private lender there. He loaned us $150,000 because I had credit issues. And I wanted to clean that up so that we could refinance our house and a rental house that Musette's been looking at. And we could not do that because my credit was too low. And you know, when you're doing this business, at times you're maxing out the credit cards to do rehabs, and then you're paying them off, you're going back and forth, and so mine were pretty maxed out. And what I learned, because we've had a lot of people come through these meetings and say, hey, for $3,000, I can show you how to fix your credit really good. Well, guess what? My credit was about 620. I did a private loan for $150,000, paid off $150,000 for the credit cards. I think I had $200,000 total. My credit went in 90 days from 620 to 800. Do you need somebody to teach you how to do this for $3,000? No, you just need to pay off your debt. More than likely, that's the big problem. Now, we have properties that, you know, National Home Buyers LLC that we do lease-to-owns on, and we get a lot of people call up and say, well, I've got lousy credit and I don't think I can qualify for your program because we've got really stringent guidelines that we'll accept people or we won't. And when I find out that what they really have is just no credit cards, they just don't have credit, they're real quick and easy. You can fix that real quick. If they've got a lot of debt, and one of our guidelines in the $50,000 to $100,000 range of properties is, you know, my mortgage person says, oh, Dan, well, you know, you'll probably go up to 20 or 30,000, but I just say, no, I want it more like 5 or 8,000. If they have anything more than that, I don't want them because they're not going to be able to pay that off in 2 years or less. Sorry, ding. You don't get it. You can't get in. It's just the way it is. So credit isn't a big issue depending on whether you've got a lot of debt or not. Okay? Two companies that I've got is NH Big for wholesaling, and also NHB LLC, which is really a long-term, what used to be long-term. I've been doing rental properties now for about 30 or 40 years. And what I found out is that it really doesn't matter if you're doing them a couple of years in selling, you buy another one, or if you just hang on to it for 20 years. You want to have property for as long as you can get, and you want it to be in nice areas where properties appreciate in value, because a lot of what we've done on the Midwest, you know, I looked at, and I talked to my daughter some time back, and I said, well, you know, if we sold this $300,000 property, how many of these $20,000 properties could we get? What would be the difference in cash flow? And it looked like the cash flow would be way better to go do that. And it was. But what I didn't know was how much maintenance would cost, how much vacancy there would be, how many problems were involved. And in the long run, personally, and you know, real estate is a personal decision, a personal lifestyle choice. You have to really decide what you want to do. For me, after doing that for the last 10 years, I've realized I would much rather have 2 or 3 properties in, you know, that were more expensive, $200,000, $500,000, over a longer period of time that will actually increase in value, than have 20 properties that are like $50,000 a piece and have all the nightmare headaches that go along with it. And there are good property management companies out there, and if you've got one, it's gold, hang on to it. But especially in a downturn economy, you can have property management companies be worse than the worst tenants that you've ever thought about, and they will rip you off just as bad as anybody who just is a professional squatter. And I hate to use the term, but you know, it's true, there are people out there like that. So, I'm starting to sell off a lot of low-end stuff, looking to moving back into higher-end markets, especially in wholesaling, because we can do $200,000 to $10 million and not a dime out of our pocket. It's wholesaling. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to fix anything. The first wholesale deal I did was when I was still working at the university, around 2004, and I made $50,000 just matching up a buyer and seller. And I thought, man, am I stupid to be here at the university for 26 years. I added up all the money I made in rental properties part-time, added up all the money I made at the university full-time, and realized, oh my God, I made 4 times as much part-time doing real estate as I did full-time working. If I stay here, I'm going to go broke. I need to get out there and do this. And I went to HR, and I said, well, what do I get if I retire now? And they said, well, half your wage for the rest of your life. And I said, okay, what else? And they said, you get medical benefits for the rest of your life for you and your wife and your son and your daughter. I said, well, that sounds pretty good. What do I get if I stay? They said, well, you'll be lucky to get the cost of living on increased wages when you're working. You know, I mean, if you really want to play the 9-to-5 job thing, you've got to quit and hire. Quit your job, find a new job. If you think you can go in there and talk people into giving you a decent increase in wage, good luck. So, you know, I walked out and said, where do I sign? I signed, and I called up my wife and said, hey, you know what? I just got out of HR, and you know, it looks like retiring is a lot better deal than staying here. And she goes, yeah, well, don't you think we ought to be, you know, talking about it a little bit? And I said, oh, I thought we were. She goes, are you telling me you signed the paper and you're out of there? And I said, yeah. So I thought the $50,000 was a pretty good deal to make, you know, on that first day when I was still working at the university. I retired, got out of there, and guess what happened to the market as soon as I left in 2000, whatever it was. Our most recent recession that we're now slowly coming out of, and actually we've been doing pretty good, so I wouldn't doubt that we're pretty much out of it and getting ready to head back into another, because real estate goes like this. It's always a cycle, but you can bet in the long run, it's still going up as it cycles. So depending on what kind of real estate deals you're doing, you have to be careful about the cycles and where you are, what's happening. And if you don't get over leverage, you can hang in there for the long run, and you can actually make a lot of money. Okay? So, that's what I've noticed about selling things in the Midwest and kind of moving things back in this direction. NHB, wholesaling, that's all we're doing, there's no rehabbing. And then NHB LLC is the short term, and the reason I like lease-to-own is because the tenants are responsible for all repairs, under $500. And the investor is responsible for all repairs over $500. And then we further qualify that by saying, if it's required by the city, if the repair is required by the city, and if it is, because immediately when the tenants see that, they're going to like, I'm going to turn you into the city every chance I get because this place is going to be looking really nice by the time I'm out of here. If the repairs are required by the city, they're added to the purchase price of the home according to the contract. So now they're going to think, do I really want to go to the city and jack up the price, the purchase price? Maybe there's a better way to do this. I've got some people out in a house right now in Monroe, Indiana, that they said, man, this place is a disaster. And I said, contract's the same, and the investor may help you even though it says they're not going to. And they've been going back to Lowe's. I had them going to Home Depot for a while, and that was an hour drive, but they're going to Lowe's now, and they're picking up the paint, and the agreement that we got is, you paint it, your labor, we'll pay the materials. And they're doing a great job. It looks really nice. And of course, you'll have the attorneys say, Dan, you were so stupid. They're going to fall off the ladder, and they're going to hurt themselves, and they're going to sue you. Real estate's a gamble. It's all a risk. Getting on the freeway just to come here was a risk, you know? Giving up your free Saturday is a risk, you know? It's all a risk. And I think I've only been one time somebody came to me and said, I'm going to sue you. A lady on a rental I had in Lompoc called up one day and said, oh, my son, he fell down and he broke his 2 front teeth out, and we don't have the money to fix it, and it's your property, and you need to pay for this medical, expense, blah, 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 blah. I would say, okay. Where did it happen? She said, in the front yard. And I said, well, exactly where? Well, it was on the sidewalk. And I said, why? How did it happen? Well, the trees growing these roots out there that lifted up the sidewalk, and he tripped over it, fell and broke his teeth. And I said, oh, God, I'm so sorry to hear that. I would love to help you with your medical expenses, but I don't own the sidewalk. And I didn't plant the tree. That was done by the city. They're responsible. I'm sorry. So that's as close as I've come in 40 years. I had to sue, you know. And you know what suing can be like. And if you have to, you have to. It's all part of the business. But I would assume not do that. So in any case, those are the two businesses we've got. This is the website. We had, $4.5 million property we were wholesaling some time back. This is kind of some of the stuff that you get for going through the training and being part of the business. This is National Home Buyers website. Lease-to-own properties. Here's reasons why. And I've got some videos up there that tell you some pretty good reasons why, you make your contractor be the signing. And actually, I don't even have them do the signing anymore. I just use Adobe electronic signatures, much easier. But there's a lot of information there. This is the website. When you click on Apply Now, what you'll see on there is a very extensive application process. And you'll go, Dan, you're asking for people's social media site? Can you legally ask somebody for their social media site just to apply for a rental property? Guess what? In Europe, the answer is no. It's totally illegal. You'd be in big trouble. In the United States, it's legal because we're only asking for public information that's already there. What we're really doing is we're trying to find out how easy people are to work with, how forthcoming they are, how honest they are. And when they say, oh, I don't have a social media site, and I don't have any kids, it's just me, and I go use some of my tools to find out more about them, and I see their social media site with 5 kids, and you kind of look at what's going on the social media site, you go, no, I don't think so, I'm not going to go down that road. There's a reason that we have a very stringent application process. Okay? Santa Barbara Computing Services, I've had my own business doing computing since I worked at the university. Did nothing but IT work there for 26 years. And Michael now can help you with websites and doing all kinds of things, remote login. He's doing a lot of stuff for people now. He was happily retired from Best Buy a few months back. He said, I've been there for a year now, don't you think it's time for me to retire? I said, yeah, if you don't retire now, you're going to forget that dreams are even possible, and even worse, thinking that you can make your dreams come true. Go chase your dreams. Get excited about life. Do in life what you want to do. That's how you become successful. Personal Power Project, this is another thing that I do, and this has to do with going green. And as you can see, this is Tesla's website, not mine, but I'm a referral agent, so any Tesla product that you want, you get a deal and a discount if you go through me to get it. You want to buy a car, you want solar, you want backup batteries, we can do that, okay? And now, we have Cliff Gager. So, he's going to come up here and he's going to hook up his computer. I'm going to disconnect mine. That gives you a few minutes if you want to take a quick break, run out the door, grab some food, some water, whatever, and then we'll be ready to go.
Right.